Hey folks, Zach Osprey, Ohio Insider, Indianapolis Star. A little bit of remote insider video across from me, Dustin DePerrick. Dustin, Indiana gets a 12 seed. Indiana sent to Dayton. You and I will have a podcast tonight where I think we'll discuss more of the ins and outs of basically the committee's justification for this. But I think that the immediate takeaway is Indiana needed everything it did in Indianapolis to get into this field.
Yeah, absolutely. And still barely made it. Basically, if they had just beat Michigan, it wouldn't have been close. They obviously it hurt them a little. A couple of things that's transpired in the last 24 hours or so. Not only them losing to Iowa, but also Virginia Tech winning the ACC, Richmond winning the Atlantic 10. Taking a couple bids there and sort of pushing them closer to that Dayton line. But very much needed what happened to them. Got a the breaks before they got started with Wake Forest losing and Dayton losing, and those end up, Xavier losing, Dayton and VCU end up losing some games, losing a lot of things that end up going their way that keep them safe in this tournament. It seems they needed every single one of them.
They'll play Wyoming, and again, we'll spiral a lot more of this out as we go. But they will play a Wyoming team that went 25-8 this season. Went 13-5 in the Mountain West, made it to the Mountain West, I think, semifinal before losing to Boise State, which eventually won the conference. Wyoming's 58th in KenPom. Their best wins this season generally have been in conference. They won they swept Utah State. They won at Fresno State. They beat Boise State and Colorado at home. Without wanting to go crazy on their profile, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about Wyoming, but they are very good inside. They are awfully difficult to get to the free throw line against, and they're awfully difficult to beat on the defensive glass. I think this is going to be a game that in some ways is going to play into Indiana's strengths. But it's certainly going to be one that both for, matchup reasons and also just the more intangible sort of, a big name conference team against a mid-major in Dayton reasons, they're really going to need to be up for this if they want to get through it and get to Portland.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a big piece to it. Obviously, in a place like Dayton, basically that you could start picking up the underdog, and no matter what your record is, it's what the name on the front of your jersey is determines whether or not you're the underdog or not. A Wyoming is going to get people behind it, and it is a tight turnaround. And I think they have to shake something off. They certainly, I imagine, they went into this film to be comfortable and be safe, and they obviously came to the edge of it, and I think probably feel at least a little bit distracted. They're certainly behind a Michigan who they just beat in ultimately, and so they're going to have to shake that off, realize what they're up against, and turn around really fast and find the same motivation that they had all in Indianapolis.
We will have more at indystar.com/sports, not just about Indiana, but if you're interested in Purdue, if you're interested in Notre Dame, we'll also be in the first four. Again, indystar.com/sports. We'll have a lot more on that. We'll have insiders, Q&As, a region breakdown if Indiana gets that far. Again, we'll also be cutting Dustin and I an episode of Mind Your Banners just in a few minutes. That'll be up tonight. But go there for basically everything building up to Indiana Tuesday night against Wyoming. For now, between now and then, for Dustin DePerrick, I'm Zach Osman. Thank you for watching.